You know,
Right.
do we really want everybody to help us? You know, is it really all hands on deck as far as people being a part of this struggle that we're in for equality and equity? And the short answer is, like, from my perspective, is yeah, you know, well, we do want everybody's help. You know, we do want everybody's help. But let me put this caveat in there. I do recognize that, unfortunately, sometimes when sometimes it can become a distraction, and we do have to avoid that at all costs. You know, sometimes you might have somebody that's involved with your movement or your fight, involved to help you, and they cause more harm because they become the focus of, you know, them and their personal issues become the focus versus what they're in it to fight. But to answer the question, I do think that we need everybody's help.
Okay. I just to piggyback on that, I would say that I would say that we do need everybody's support, because especially in a movement like the one that we're in, because the thing is, we aren't in this by ourselves,
Right,
right?
right. As we're realizing now.
When yeah, as we're realizing. So I'm always saying, you know, Black Power. I'm always saying, you know, my people, and that's who I'm looking out for, my people, because we've gotten such a bad deal. But in saying that, I just want to also say that it's not really about race. What people don't understand is the issues that we are currently facing have nothing to do with race.
Absolutely.
There will be a scapegoat, however, and you know, I could see Black people being a scapegoat to other people when the shit hits the fan, literally, right? So I say yes, we need everybody, because look, this movement has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with color. The movement really has nothing to do with your financial status. It has nothing to do with where you live. It has nothing to do with any of that. So, and let me explain something else. The reason how we got into this is because you know, on our page we see a lot of different posts, right? We see a lot of different religious posts. We see a lot of different anti-religious posts. We see a lot of, you know, variety of everything, which has no place in the movement. If you want my personal opinion, right? Because real brothers, we don't care who you call your God. I don't care personally. You know what I mean? I have my own belief about that, and that's something that I believe, and that's my personal belief. So Stacy shouldn't care what I believe, and I shouldn't care what Stacy believes. All as long as we care about what our end goal is. As long as we're in this together, trying to get to where we're trying to get equality, equity, social justice, you know, equal opportunity, all of that, right? So that what religion you are in, that has nothing to do with any of that. So, and then another thing too, right? So there was this one lady who was you know, or who is a part of a group that worships Satan, right? And I know that's a big deal with Black folks, especially, you know, we got a lot of Christians, we got a lot of Muslims, we got a lot of Jewish people, you know what I mean? Black Jewish people. So it would be unfair to tell a person that, you know, if they, you know, worship Satan or whatever. I mean, that's not my twist, right?
Right.
But if that's your twist, hey, you got the answer for that, not me.
But let me ask you this tonight. Let's say this. I do agree with you. It shouldn't make a difference. But in all actuality, we know that people are easily distracted. So at what point do you say, when you see that it's becoming a distraction, at what point do you say, okay, you know what, we have to go in a different direction? Because it can happen. I mean, and I don't know if that's the difference between dealing in reality versus dealing in the way we want things to be. Because you're right, your religion or any of your personal beliefs shouldn't have any bearing on,
like I don't
way you think, or or on your fight. If you're in this fight and we're all trying to get to Z, but if the fact that, let's just say, the person we were talking about that worships Satan, if now everybody's talking about that, then is that okay?
Away from the message, right?
Right.
But the thing is, okay, so if you're gonna ban that person, right? Then so how can you ban that person for their beliefs and not ban someone else who's talking about their beliefs? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with their belief. Like, it's a whole bunch of beliefs that I see posted that I don't really truly believe in. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to down talk or I'm not going to talk shit about somebody else's religion. That's on them.
But
that's
the question
between
is,
them and what they believe.
But again, at what point does the distraction become so destructive to the movement? And unfortunately, and again, I'm not saying that I agree with it. Sometimes people will say, well, you know what, you think X, Y, and Z, or your leader or somebody that's a big part of your movement is on, believes this, and it starts to discredit the movement as a whole.
Well, see, that's different. If you're talking about a leader of the movement and their beliefs are different than most of the people in their movement, right? Then yeah, I can see that having an effect. But just a supporter of the movement, what? Let me ask you a question. So, if there was a person who was believed in their what's that flag? Their Confederate flag,
right?
You know what I mean? They believed in their Confederate flag or whatever, but they said, I believe in Black Lives Matter, but I'm I believe in my history too.
Wow.
So do you now
question?
Right? Can you set aside their beliefs and let them support what you're doing?
Now that's interesting, Knight, because I guess that will go to the argument of symbolism. What you truly believe versus what that flag symbolizes to a lot of people. Because if that flag itself that you proudly fly on your car is offensive to 99% of the people in the movement, then I think you would have to do something about that. You would have to say, okay, person.
So you're saying we don't need that support? Like, I mean, keep that support.
But you know what? Because again, Nike,
I can get that though. I get that.
Right, because then we have to talk about reality versus, the way things should be. Okay, I understand that you believe, and that was their argument. That was the people that believed in the Confederate flag. That was their argument, that this flag represents, the struggle and personal freedoms.
That's bullshit though, because they lost.
We can only go by what they said though. I mean, I agree again, but we can only go by what they said. And
celebrating the loss, celebrating that L.
But again, if that's what they said, and we see them at all the marches, but but they're walking around with that flag, with that symbol on, and it's offensive to 99% of the people. Oh, that's what if it's a swastika? If they say, if they walk,
I think that was a bad example I gave. That was a bad example, but I was trying to see. That was a bad.
I mean, I understand what you say,
but you know what I mean. I was just trying to pull out like the differences.
Basically, the worst case scenario.
Right.
And I get that, but see, but again,
so in other words, we're saying we don't want everybody's support. Some people, they can keep their support for real.
See, I don't think that, you know, I don't think that, Nike. I think because if someone truly believes that they're trying to get to the same final direction that I am, I want your support. You know, now again, and actually, Nike, I think that's a challenge, because if that symbol that you're wearing on your shirt, if every time we go out in the public, we have to spend an hour explaining
why you got that bullshit on. Yeah.
Right. You know, is that counterproductive? Yes.
Right.
Maybe can you wear a different shirt? You know, but
right. Can you keep that shit? You know what I mean? Keep your personal shit personal.
But we still
if it
want
ain't about the movement, you shouldn't be posting it.
Well,
on the site for the movement. You know what I mean?
Nike, because but at the same
that's your
time,
personal beliefs.
But then at the same time, though, when the Christians say before this march, let's get down and pray.
Hey, it's a double-edged sword.
Agreed. Or are we saying that? Wow, I guess we're saying that as long as your position agrees with the masses.
Yeah, and it can't be that way, man. That's what I'm saying.
That's not right.
That's not cool. You know what I'm saying?
So in the instance that the reason why this came up, like you said, the lady that's a devil worshiper or Satan, believes in Satan, we want her support, but we don't want you out there talking about your religion where everybody else
see, that's what I'm saying. Like, is that
wow.
Is that a version of you know, what do they call
political correctness?
Not political correctness, but censorship. You know what I mean?
True.
Are we censoring? You know what I mean? Should we be censoring people's stuff? You know what I mean?
Because like we said, before we make this march, we're gonna all hold hands and say a prayer.
Right.
But then
that's the Christian folks. What about the Muslim folks? They say a different prayer. Or they looking like, well, what about you know what I'm saying? So like that's why I say that religion, like all of those criteria that I gave before, should have nothing to do with the movement. That's what I'm saying. Like, it should be a sole focus
on the movement,
what we're trying to accomplish, you know, and that sort of deal. Because anything that's going to be a distraction is, you know, they already have us divided anyway. We're divided anyway. So we don't need further division inside the movement that we're trying to create. You get what I mean? Like,
so you just saying basically keep it all out.
I say keep it all out.
Keep all your personal stuff out.
All your personal stuff. Like, I don't need to hear about, you know,
no prayers. No prayers before the march.
I mean, you know, I would be a hypocrite if I sat there and prayed before March, and that's not what I believe. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I'm not saying that you can't pray.
I mean, but
you can pray if that's what you believe. You know what I'm saying? That lady that worshiped the devil, she can go over there and pray on her. You know what I mean? Go behind that tree over there and pray to the devil. Do whatever you do.
Just don't do it in front of everybody else.
Just don't bring that shit to me. You know what I mean?
But again, you're talking about
my God is in here,
not just her. Right.
My God is in here.
But again, you're not talking about you're talking about everybody, not just the person that worships the devil.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, so again, the bottom line is, like, I guess we both agree that we do want everybody's support. You know, it is all hands on deck.
Right.
But we just gotta
need everybody's
personal stuff.
Baggage. Right.
Correct. Or I mean baggage. I mean, it's
not baggage, but you know what I'm saying? We
damn. You a Christian, that's baggage.
Right, yeah. Make it
you
about the movement,
God?
not about the
like you a heathen.
I ain't a heathen. No, God is in here. I believe in God. God,
right.
Me and God is like this.
Right.
It's all here.
Right. I got you.
I'm in tune, brother. I'm in tune.
I got you. All right.